Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters, and you are welcome to Kanem English. My name is Babak Ramadu. If you could remember our previous videos, where we treated and published about 5 videos on clothes. Alhamdulillah, as we started the topic and saw it through without any problem. And today, we are gonna start a new topic called the active and the passive voice. But in this video in particular, we are gonna take you through 6 crucial hints that will help you learn the active and passive voice clearly. Without wasting much of time, let's dive in to the lesson and get started. And now the first hint. Get to know the meaning of active and passive voice. An active voice can only be active when the subject performs the action, while the object receives that action. Example, the man killed a snake. This is active voice. We have the man subject, killed is the action performed by the subject, and a snake is the object that receives the action being performed by the subject. While the passive voice can also be passive when the object is placed in the subject position, while the subject, the doer, is then placed at the end of the sentence or sometimes omitted completely. Example, let's use the first example. The man killed a snake. We said this is an active voice. When you now change it, you start with a snake, that means the object, a snake. Then you look at the verb used, that means the second verb. We have the present kill, then killed is the first, and killed is the past participle, the third one. When you now want to turn it passive, that means you are going to say a snake was killed. A snake, you can use was. Then when you now take the verb, you are going to take what form of verb, that means the past participle form. So you can now say a snake was killed by the man. So this is the passive voice. Hint number 2, get to know the subject and the object. As we said earlier, the subject is the person or something that performs an action, while the object is the receiver of the action performed by the subject. Example, the coward boy killed the roaring lion. So now we have the coward boy. This is the subject. What does the subject perform? He performed the action of killing something. Killed, this is the verb, the action, while the roaring lion is the object. Then hint number 3. Make sure you can differentiate between the transitive and intransitive verb, because these are the verbs we use when switching the active voice to passive voice. A transitive verb is a verb that takes an object. Example, love, kill, slap, teach, read, eat, sell, cook. All these are transitive verbs that takes an object. For instance, if I said I love Aisha, so I is the subject, love is the verb, then Aisha is the object. So this verb carries an object. Ali killed a snake. So we have Ali subject, the verb killed is the action, and then a snake is the object. So this verb can also take an object. Then an intransitive verb, in the other hand, is a verb that does not carry an object. Example, run, sleep, dance, shout, smile, cry, look, lie, walk. For instance, if I said I ran, you run what? There is no object there. She sleeps. She sleeps what? I didn't touch anyone. Then this verb doesn't carry an object. He smiled at him. So now we said he smiled at him. So someone may say, him is there. So him is the object. So him is not the direct object of the verb smile. But this him is the object to this preposition at. It doesn't belong to this verb. Therefore, this one is intransitive verb. Note, some of the verbs can also be used transitively and intransitively as well. For instance, the word run. You can say I run a business, but in this case you can use the verb run as active voice, and at the same time you can also use it as passive voice. Hint number 4. Get to know the present form, the past and the past participles forms of a verb. Example, the present form, that is love, the past tense of love is loved and the past participle is loved. Then slap, slapped, past tense, slapped, past participle. Teach, past tense, taught, past participle, taught. Read, past tense, read, past participle, read. Read and read have the same spelling but differs in pronunciation. Then the word sell, the past tense salt and the past participle salt. Eat, ate, then eaten, the past participle form. So you have to know the 3 forms of these verbs because we are going to use them to change the passive voice. If you use the first form, that means you are going to take, after taking the auxiliary verb was or is, you are going to take the past participle form, because the verb forms changes when changing the active to passive voice. Example, if you now use the word Ali taught the students. Ali taught the students. So now we have the verb 2, that means the first form, which is the second one. Since you use the second one, you are now going to change it, like you are going to say the students. That means the subject now has become plural here. Then the students were taught by Ali. The students were taught by Ali. So remember, this taught you use in the passive voice is the past participle, not the past tense, not the past form. Then hint number 5. Get to also know the V verbs. The V verbs forms. Example, if you take the V verb, that means the infinitive to be. If you take the word be, then we have the present. That means am, is, and are is the present form. Was and were is the past form. And being is the past participle form. And then we have being with ing. This one is the present participle. Therefore, if you are going to use it in an example, Amina cooks the breakfast, active voice. So if you want to change it, the verb here is the present form. Therefore, you are going to take the present form of the auxiliary verb of the V verb. So you can now say the breakfast. Since it is the V1, you are going to use, it depends on the subject. We said breakfast, we are talking about just breakfast. Then you can say is, the breakfast is. Then you take the verb number 3, that means the past participle form. The breakfast is cooked by, then you now introduce the subject, Amina. So we have the passive voice. And if you use the past form, you said Amina cooked the breakfast yesterday. So you can now say the breakfast. So this one is past form. You are going to take the first form of the auxiliary verb of the be verb. You can now going to take what? The breakfast was cooked by Amina. You are also going to take the V3, that means the past participle form of the cook, of the word cook. Then hint number 6. Get to know the preposition by and the agent. The preposition by is the only word that introduces the object, which is also called the agent in the passive voice. But sometimes the agent is not important. Example, if I use the word someone stole my money. So if I want to change this one to passive, I can say my money was stolen, since I don't know the person. So if you want, you can also put the preposition by. Then you can say my money was stolen by someone. So this one is not necessary because the subject is unknown to you. So this is the end of today's lesson. and I hope you have enjoyed it. And don't forget to like, comment and share this video, because sharing, commenting and liking the video encourages us to publish more videos on this platform. Thank you for watching. Until we meet in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.